Entourage is defined on Wikipedia as an informal group or band of people who are closely associated with a usually famous, notorious, or otherwise notable individual. The 2015 movie version of the long-running HBO comedy called Entourage, which was about an A-list actor and his friends and followers, was loosely based on the life of actor Mark Wahlberg. The show and movie track the life and antics of a fictional actor and his gang of old friends and low-life hangers-on as they pursue the high-flying Hollywood life. Full confession, I've not watched them, so can't speak firsthand as to whether or not they're funny. Considering the series was on HBO and that one review called it profane and excellent dirty fun, I won't be watching them since they are rated IFC, inappropriate for Christians. Would you believe that two very important Bible characters had an entourage? At least one was likely somewhat profane, and both were dirty, but in a different way than in the TV show. The first is none other than King David. After hiding in plain sight among the Philistines, pretending to be a madman, David fled to the cave of Adullam. While there, he picked up a collection of family, friends, followers, and general hangers-on. The text says, everyone who was in distress, and everyone who was in debt, and everyone who was discontented gathered to him, and he became captain over them. Now there were about 400 men with him. 1 Samuel 22, verses 1 and 2. They were his entourage. We might be tempted to say, what a bunch of losers. But they were following the future king of Israel. The other Bible character who had a collection of followers was none other than Jesus. All four Gospels tell of how he began to collect followers at the outset of his public ministry. The first three talk about it starting after his return from the wilderness temptation. But John reveals how the first apostles approached Jesus in that short span of time between his baptism and the wilderness temptation. All of them reveal that the first followers were mostly insignificant people, hangers-on who were clinging to the star, Jesus. When confronted with the reality that he was not leading them to riches and power, Peter, voicing what they all felt, complained, "Look, we have left everything and followed you." Mark 10, verse 28. They were his entourage who gave up all to follow him. They were being called losers by the world, but put up with it, expecting a payoff with power in an earthly kingdom. In other words, they were doing it for what's in it for me. Jesus wants an entourage and pointed them to a much greater payoff for those who will be his true entourage. In Mark 10, verses 29 through 31, he calls on them and us to leave everyone and everything for him and for the gospel, not for ourselves. In other words, he calls on me and anyone else who wants to be in his entourage to do it for him, not for self. And that's why it isn't easy to be his follower. But here's the ultimate benefit. His entourage gets to follow him into heaven for eternity. Today's Morning Minutes in the Bible ends with this very serious question. Are you in the Lord's entourage? Are you following the eternal King of Israel? Well, thanks for watching. Until tomorrow, this is James McClenny, hoping you have a great day.